And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another lovely week, another edition of the Korean StarCraft League, week number 13. My god, it's already been 13 weeks. It's great to be back here for another great weekend of StarCraft, the first of many broadcasts. Fun fact, we're going to be kicking things off with the KSL. We're going to be continuing with GPO, and we'll end things off with WTL. 3 broadcasts back to back to back, because there's always StarCraft on the weekends and we don't sleep. Oh. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. As we have our first matchup, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the Chinese Zerg player, the best Zerg in all of China, representing the Starving Camels. It is Silky. And I should update that on the overlay just to make sure no one's confused this morning. In the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. Once again, no longer representing Alpha X, representing his brand new team, Macherino Esports. It is Astrea. It was recently announced a couple of days ago that Astrea has joined a new team. It's amazing, it's beautiful. It's been a long-time supporter of the StarCraft scene. It is, of course, Macherino, which is crazy. Macherino, for a long time, they've kind of been, they have been a lot more focused on running tournaments and facilitating for, like, the funding of events as well. So it's really cool to see Macherino pick up Astrea. Macherino didn't just pick up Astrea, they also picked up Future as well. 2 of those lovely NA boys. So it's beautiful. You do love to see it. Oh. Meanwhile, I also see Asher asking in the chat, wait, what's going on? Oh, I should update the score here. Sorry, I should update the title. As this was going to be Miyamika versus Firefly, and we were totally on board. You know, Miyamika was ready for it and all that stuff. Unfortunately, Firefly is MIA. Firefly is not responding and may get walkovered. So instead of waiting an extra 5 minutes to see if there's a walkover, we're like, you know what, we may as well jump into a game. It's totally possible that Firefly could show up in time and he'll still play with Miyamika, but for now, he is missing in action. And yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to get into it. Otherwise, we would have loved to have started off with Miyamika versus Firefly. Just, yeah, unfortunately is not meant to be here. Not at least to start the broadcast off. Smurge, Papi, Smurge. I always love casting Miyamika. Firefly as well has been a hot name recently as well. It's a lot's been going on with Firefly. I can't believe my eyes. So I would have loved to have casted them, but alas, maybe next time. Maybe next time. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. As we do have our openers here, nothing too crazy from either player. Hatch Gas Pool from Silky, and likewise Astrea is also going to be going for a Stargate opener as well. But again, it's just really exciting to see that Astrea is getting supported. I know that it's been a little bit sad to see a team like Alpha X, who have been so supportive of StarCraft and of so many different regions for a long time, kind of scale back a little bit. It does make a lot of sense. I know that Alpha X, you know, they don't have the most sponsors out there, and they don't have the most funding, so they've been doing what they could for a very long time, but alas, in recent times they have had to just dial it back a little bit, and as a result they did kind of disband their pro team. I believe they still have their more amateur roster, and I think they still have their semi-pro team. I'm very uncertain. I should message Demi. I don't really know what's happening with their semi-pro team, because they got a lot of players. They've got like Demi, they've got Arrowfire, Ashbringer, they've got a lot in their semi-pro roster, so, or in their kind of like B team division. I think they call it like the Alpha Drakes or something. So I'm uncertain about what's happening with them, but at least when it comes to their pro roster, you know, they're all kind of looking for some new teams. Ragnarok was picked up by Mystery Gaming, Astrea was picked up by Macherino, and Zaun retired. So their 3 pro players have kind of, you know, they've all kind of found their own homes in a way. Zaun, I believe, he didn't just retire, I believe he's doing his military service, so Zaun is, of course, doing that. Meanwhile, we're getting into this, and Astrea is still here fighting strong. One of the best, if not the best, in all of North America right now. Looking to have a deep run in ESL, or sorry, in the KSL. And he gets a couple of drone kills already. Oh my god, this is getting a little bit out of hand as we look at the units lost tab here. 6 drones go down for 1 adept. About to be 2. The second adept is about to be hunted down. But regardless, Astrea did so much damage already. Oh, but now he's going to be looking to maybe receive some damage. The Lings go for a counterattack, but yo, a hot warp in there. Astrea does actually keep that weakened probe alive, will fend off all these Lings, and Astrea will hold at the same time. Is counterattacking across the map. We've got the double Oracle zooming on in. Looks like Silky has spores, thankfully, but oh, the macro hatch gets denied. Another 3-4 drones go down. This again is getting out of hand. This is becoming a little bit too much. Behind this, Astrea transitioning into Forge, into Blink, +1, going to be on the way soon as well. Kind of your typical transition into the quote-unquote hero style of PvZ, almost of StarCraft. Of PvZ. Really, it should be StarCraft. These Terran players. Speaking of Terrans, we have something to say about that a little bit later on as well, but we'll get there. We'll get there. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot that's been happening in the bracket and in the tournament. But yeah, Astrea, after doing all that economic damage, has been macroing beautifully, and now he's going on the assault. He's got his Stalkers. He has these Oracles to protect said Stalkers from those Lings, from any kind of aggression. And there we go. Stasis traps are being thrown down. We do have a fallback point. The Lings, they try to get us around, but the Blink is done. Ooh, Blink will get triggered by only 2 of these Lings, so not the most efficient of trades here, and Astrea is going to be losing a Stalker. But he's got plenty more. He's got plenty more where that came from. Plenty of energy on these Oracles as well, just in case things get a little bit too scary, things get a little bit too crazy as we're just continuing to reinforce from across the map. We have our 4th base on the way, +1. A little bit delayed. I don't know if you noticed, but the Forge and the Twilight Council were a little bit mistimed, so we didn't really have the crisp kind of blink and +1 timing that we're used to. So because of that, these Stalkers aren't hitting anywhere near as hard as they usually do, and as a result, Silky has been able to hold on. At what cost, though? You know, Silky, he survives, he holds onto his 4th base, he's getting a 5th behind this, but look at the drone counts. We're not even up to 60 workers here. We can't even go for that kind of like 60 to 70 drone all in. Alas, Silky is still working on his economy. He's trying to transition into Hydras. He's got Ling Hydra on the mind, which can work out well, but Hydras do require a decent economy. And speaking of a decent economy, even more drones go down. 14 in total already. And now Silky is forced to back off, forced to just focus on droning at this point, which is a shame because look at all these Lings. Half of these Lings could have been drones, you know, we didn't have to commit this hard to this large of an army. I mean, to be fair, I'm sure he assumed that Astrea would just keep on pushing, and as a result, Silky would need this army, but he doesn't, and because of this, Astrea, he's already at that 81 probe count, 4 base saturation. The Sim City is on the way as well, so Baneling Rumbyes are going to have a very hard time getting in towards this 4th base. Likewise, I can say the same about the 3rd. There are just gateway walls all over the place. Gateways, Stalkers on hold position. These Banelings, they can't get anywhere near the mineral line. Oh, they're going to try. They are going to try. We'll see if they can pull it off in the end. Meanwhile, Astrea just going across the map once again with some more Oracles, transitioning into not just Blink Stalkers and Zealots, but also into some Archons. The Banelings, they do crash on forward. Very quick warp in of that Archon, and again, the Banelings, they just can't get into the mineral line. We do have that overcharge. Silky cannot break the defenses of Astrea. He has droned up a little bit further, but only a little bit. We do have the Hive on the way, Hydra upgrades as well. I would love to see a Lunker Den. Oh, we have the Lunker Den, and I do see it. I do get eyes on it. I'm still on the fence about continuing to pump out all these Lings. I mean, we're going to get to surround all these Zealots, which is nice, but these still feel like inefficient trades, overly inefficient trades, as the Banelings are rolling on forward once again. The Stalkers do blink back to that mineral line. Silky once again trying to find a way in. It looks like his Ling's going to get us around with some of these High Templar. Banelings, they are getting closer and closer to that mineral line, but up! Oh, not quite. They are going to be going down, and that That was a Ling massacre, a Ling meat grinder. I'm afraid to look at how many Lings we have lost this game. 163 Lings. That's a lot of Lings, Papi. That's a lot of Lings down the drain, and now Silky is struggling to remax. He doesn't really have the best bank, and he wants to hold on to some of these minerals because we have the lunk. Like, we need lunkers. We need minerals for lunkers as well, not just gas. And yeah, Silky has to be careful as he's even supply blocked as... Oh my god. Even getting a little bit supply blocked towards the end here. Thankfully, he is finally making a couple of those lurkers and he's refining his army. His creep is looking really good. You know, as much as I'm... You know, as much as I'm smoging a little bit looking at all the dead Lings, Silky has had some map control, right? Like, he's had a lot of creep spread, not with too many tumors, to be fair. There's like one tumor going in every direction. But so it's not the thickest of creep spread, but it doesn't have to be thick, you know? It's got to get the job done, and we appreciate it. So yeah, some decent creep spread here coming out from Silky. It's giving him a lot of breathing room, and hey, you know, he's making the lunkers. They're on the way. He's getting there. Meanwhile, Astrea fully saturated on these 4 bases. If he really wanted to, and this is where I have to be a little bit critical of Astrea, he totally can throw down a Stargate and a Fleet Beacon. Like, there's nothing really stopping him from doing that, and it would be amazing to see a Skytoss transition. I do think that would be the nail in the coffin. But for the time being, Astrea is staying and sticking with ground toss. He just saw those lunkers, by the way. He just had a bit of a scout on the left-hand side of the map. He knows about the lurkers, and he's still not going into the sky. He's still not taking to the skies. He's still committing to a ground army instead, which is ideal for Silky. Meanwhile, we do have a massive warp in into the main base. Stealth's going to be wreaking havoc. The 5th base of Astrea is going to be denied. Oh. And this is going to be a bold counter attack because we have a lot of supply across the map, and Silky, I don't think he can hold on. He does protect his main, but what about his 4? The mineral line goes down. The 4th base is going to be falling. The lunkers are gaining ground. They're slowly pushing forward. They're getting behind the mineral line. Oh! And the Banelings do roll in as well. So Silky is getting some counter damage, but this is far too much damage. Every lunker goes down. An army that Silky cannot replace. Ooh. Speaking of, the Prism just went down as well, so this is getting a little bit scrappy, but I do still want to favor Astrea. I mean, look at the worker count. He's still at a healthy 82 worker count. He's still on 4 bases. Silky is even on bases, down in drones. And again, he just lost his lurker army. He has to rebuild, and that is his bank. Already done. Already gone. Just unfortunately overextending a little bit earlier and, you know, kind of trapping himself, wedging himself behind that mineral line. He's going to be looking to dive in once again. His army has been spotted. We have High Templar waiting for him. There is no storm, but Silky doesn't know that. He doesn't know that this army isn't as terrifying as it really is. So he's going to leapfrog forward here, and hey, it looks like he's going to be able to deny the 5th base once again. Not too bad here from Silky. Doing quite well for himself. He's containing Astrea. The lunker count is slowly getting higher. I do think that things will change once Storm hits the field. I do think Storm is a really good addition, a nice addition to Astrea's army. But he needs to expand, and he can't. We even have creep here on the right-hand side. The drop has been spotted. The Prism is going to try and slip past the Hydras. They're on the move. Up, up, up. Looks like the Prism will be able to escape the clutches of said Hydras. Oh, a harassing lurker is going to go down towards the top left. Astrea looking to double expand. And now the pressure is on Silky. He's got to deny Astrea in some way, shape, or form. Either a takedown. Oh, paused. So we do get a bit of a pause. Needs to take down these bases or somehow slip into one of the mining bases of Astrea. We'll see what he can get done as we get a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything is okay. It's all good. Maybe some Uber Eats showing up. I see Asher in the chat. It's fully disbanded. Oh, thanks for letting me know. Fully disbanded. Fair enough, fair enough. I do know that Nem was talking about how the community is still going to stay at least, but oh, here we go. Game resumed. Now getting back into this. Whatever issues there were are no longer there, but oh my god, we do have some massive storms on the army. The Lings go down, the Lunkers get drenched in those storms, and as we came back from the pause, I think that may just be able to see. I mean, we do have a decent amount of lurkers left over, to be fair. The Lunker cannon is not looking too bad. I just worry because there's not much else other than Luckers. Nice volleys, though, on some of these Immortals. At the same time, Prism slips into the main. We have a Zealot run by heading towards the 4th base. Do get that cancel on the 5th, though. So maybe this was worth it for Silky. Another hatchery goes down. Massive warping into the natural base as well. The Prism will go down, but not before Zealots do finish warping, and they're going to trade so well against these Lings. Meanwhile, at the same time, the Lurkers, they keep on pushing forward. They take some massive storms to the face. That was one storm too many. 4 or 5 Lurkers go down, and only 2 remain. Only 2 make it out. We've just been a little bit too careless with our Lunkers, and it's yeah, just gonna be hurting us in the long run as another base falls. Silky is on his last legs. He has 1 mining base remaining. It's not even a full mining base. He's attempting to rebuild with his Hydras, with his Lunkers. But it's just a numbers game at this point. He can't sustain these losses, and Astrea can. And Astrea is actually establishing this base. Slowly but surely, he has been solidifying his position here. He's got stasis traps, he's got a higher Archon count, Immortal, Storm. Up until this point, Silky's done a decent job at containing Astrea, but I feel like that's all about to change. I feel like this 5th base should finish for Astrea, and I don't think that Silky can really stop it. He's gonna have to try. He's backing off, rebuilding his Lunker count here, going for that 4th base once again on the right-hand side of the map. Astrea just going to be banking up his army, and Astrea is seconds away from maxing out. He's on the edge. Couple more units and he will be at that 200 supply army. Meanwhile, Silky is still struggling to rebuild what he has lost, struggling to even hit that 150 army supply. But if he does engage Astrea's army, like, split apart, then maybe he can make some magic happen. We'll see. Astrea does have a decent Zealots Templar army on the right-hand side. Once again, the Prism slips into the main base. Prism will go down, but the Zealots are unloaded at the same time. The main force is hitting this 4th base. Only a single Lurker to defend, and that is not going to be enough. This base and the mineral line will fall once again. Astrea doesn't even have to commit with his main army. He can just posture for days. Belts in the main to get cleaned up. But Astrea can now just, yeah, clear up all this creep. Rotate around. Base is, the map is now his. Sure, we had some amazing creep spread earlier, but alas, that is not meant to be, not anymore. Oof. Aye. There's that sky. Now we're getting a sky toss transition, like 10 minutes later than we really should have. And as a result, like, Astrea has been having a bit of a harder time ending the game. I don't blame him, but just because there are so many Lurkers. But he is not losing the game anyway. That's the thing, right? Even though it's been a harder road to travel to commit to ground toss against Lunkers. Because of that, like, Silky has been trading better than he otherwise would have against Sky Toss. But I mean, Astrea, he's getting the job done anyway. You know, he's getting there. It's all working out in the end. God, how many Lurkers do we have? We have 22 Lunkers. Oh my god. Silky with almost like a super maxed army. Maxed out army supply, and here we go. We're pushing on forward. The Lurker spines are going to be going off, but the storms once again mow through so many Lurkers. Oh, just cutting a massive path through them. We had 22 Lurkers. Now we're down to 15. Oh. Once again, we reposition. Decent lurker spine is going to be going off, but the carriers are on the way. The checkmate move. Oh! Oh, Astrea's not looking! Astrea was not looking, and just like that, every single High Templar goes down. That's what I mean. Like, if Astrea had been a little bit more stubborn, if he had stayed on ground toss, maybe Silky can pull off some kind of weird comeback. I say that, but there's a Zealot round by happening at the same time, so... Even if there weren't carriers on the way, like, Astrea is doing so much damage across the map. Another storm as well. Oh my god. Oh, the back-to-back storms here on these lunkers, and... Oh, 3 lunkers go down. Astrea slips into the main. God. High Templar auto-attacking a lunker to death is not something you see too often. But I think this may just be it, as the first carrier reveals itself. Almost goes down to the Hydras. Again, a bit of an overextension from Max Angel, as 1 carrier goes down. But alas, we got 2 more where that came from. 1 falls, 2 more rise to take its place. And then 5 more rise behind that, because we got 5 Stargate production. Because it's disgusting. Shay getting a 6th base, 7th base as well. As the carrier count gets higher, the amount of smudge from Silky is getting higher as well. They raise in unison, which is the dichotomy of Zerg and Skytoss. Oh my god. That's another juicy storm connects on these lunkers. Silky doing what he can, but GG gets called, and Astrea will take game number 1. GG. Chi, well played. Congratulations to Astrea for taking game number 1. But last, that was merely game 1. We still have more ahead of us as I try to catch up on what has been going on. Oh, it looks like Firefly did show up, and I believe Miyamika did end up playing out his series, and oh, it's already over. What happened? I don't know. But yeah, Firefly and Miyamika did take place. Meanwhile, we're, quite busy with our own series here. We'll be sticking with the Maximus of Angels up against his Silky. Just catching up in the chat. It's announced, Demi, Future, Aragfire, Astrea, Starkiller on Maturino. Starkiller? Interesting. Yeah, it's really cool that Maturino picked up a bunch of the Alpha X players. Starkiller is an odd one because he hasn't been active. Outside of even the ESL Masters qualifiers, he wasn't at every one of those. On top of that, Starkiller was recently playing in the funky tournaments, in the funky map opens, but those are like fun tournaments. So yeah, it's intriguing to me that that Astrea got picked. Sorry, that Starkiller got picked up by Maturino. I wonder if he I wonder if that means that maybe Starkiller wants to return to competitive play. Maybe he's gonna, yeah. I wonder if that means that he wants to compete again, or if he's joining like maybe as maybe a player manager or a team manager. I wonder what Starkiller's role is going to be there. I do think that he would be a pretty good maybe player manager, but we'll see. Catching up. You'll not believe your eyes if 10,000 lings and 3 hide just busted your third at minute 5. I mean, I wouldn't believe it because it didn't happen. True, Bobby, true. Aye. Just set up my new monitor. 144 hertz. Oh. It's like buttery smooth, but for your eyes. It's beautiful. Oh, Rowdy, are we gonna play D4 together? Oh, yo, let's go. As we are getting into our next game and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Near Humanity, we have the American Protoss player, the best player in all of North America, the ESL Masters America's reigning champion, representing his brand new team, Matcherino. It is Astrea. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have its opponent. We have the... Oh, I should fix this. He's not red. Not anymore. We have the blue Zerg player, the best Zerg player in all of China, representing the Starving Camels. Oh, going for... Was that a 1312? I wasn't quite looking, but it is a gas pool opener. It is Silky. I see in the chat, has Dolan or Patty Mac found a new home yet? Initially they were looking. Initially I was talking to Dolan, and Dolan wanted to focus on streaming, and he did want to focus on StarCraft at least until oh my god, he's crazy. Dolan did want to focus on StarCraft until Stormgate came out. That was what he wanted. But yeah, it's very possible that he has changed his mind, especially now that ESL Masters has ended for the first season. So yeah, maybe I'll catch up with Dolan and figure out what's going on, because he's a good friend. One of my favorite sons. Do have a lot of love for Papi Dolan. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Oh. May just be taking a break for the time being. As we're getting into this, and again, this was a gas pool opener here from Silky. Link speed is on the way. He's got 3 hatcheries behind this, so this kind of looks like a Ling flood. I mean, the opener was scouted by Astrea. He rotates back over. He does spot the 3rd base, but he does miss Lings as they move out across the map, and more Lings are on the way. Oh, we're not droning. Oh, we're just Ling flood. Oh my god, we're not just Ling flooding, Papi. These drones, are they going with the army, or are they just going to saturate the Rich Vespian Gas Geyser? I'm curious, but I think we're just sending everything across. Yeah, we're just sending everything. Yeah, let's go. We're just sending everything across the map. We have, oh my god, even more drones filing in behind this. We are all in. The drones will be drilling behind this Adept as we speak. Astrea is wise to this. He's actually patrolling the gold minerals just in case something is amiss. And something is amiss, but it's here on the front lines. And Astrea, he sees! He needs a wall! Up! The wall is not a wall. The drones get past this. They're going to get us around on the shield battery. Oh my god. The shield battery is going to be going down, but we do have a gateway, and these Adepts, they're going to be able to shade on past. Ooh. The Adepts get to the other side of the wall. The drones are stuck here in the main of the Protoss. And this is awkward. Like, the Lings can't break through because of these Adepts. And the workers, they're on the worker on worker action. Oh, the probes and the drones. The probes win. Every single drone is going to be going down. Meanwhile, the Lings did not break in, and just like that, I believe that we are nearing the end of the game. More Lings are coming across the map, but we have a shield battery about to finish up. We don't have an overcharge that was already popped. The Lings will be able to bust down this gateway, but I spoke too soon. GG gets called, and Astrea will take the series 2-0. GG. Crazy. GG, well played. Congratulations to Astrea for taking the series in the end. Shout out to Silky for throwing in a little bit of spice towards the end, trying to catch Astrea off guard. I appreciate the drone drilling past the army. But alas, Astrea was wise to it, was quick to pull the workers, was quick to shade the Adepts onto or into his natural and wall off behind it as well. Very quick moves out of Astrea. Was able to handle that beautifully. GG. GG. I wonder if they just took all of them because they were talking about merging. Oh, maybe. Tis possible. Exactly, as the team captain would make sense. Basically, assuming the role he has now affects. Yeah. Like team captain for like team leagues and stuff like that. Like to organize like the players and make sure that they're there for like WTL or Berserker Team League and all that stuff. GG. With that, we do see Astrea moving on into the next round, and we don't have our next matchup yet. A lot has been going on, but I'll be honest, I'm a little bit frazzled. Like, a part of me wants to catch up with what's been happening in the chat, but the other part of me wants to try and figure out where we want to go. And I don't know where to go.